Hey Grande Alive, this is your weekly Newsish Roundup, brought to you by Direct Music Source, Grande Hospital, and Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Snow sports can be a religion for some people around here. Every year, after pining away and saving all of their extra cash all summer, as soon as those hallowed wooden doors open and the lift creaks to a start, these devout flood in droves to give their tithes and receive their annual season pass at Anthony Lakes, hit the slopes every possible weekend. Let their Mecca rinse and repeat until the season ends. But it's not grace or bad potluck food that retains these snow worshippers. It's the small, close-knit community at the resort and the blissful experience of hitting the slopes that keeps them coming back year after year after year.
Coming into a powder day is, I think for most of us would say, it's therapeutic, it's bliss.
There's nothing like dropping off the top, making your first turn and blowing that snow right in your face.
Anthony Lakes is a small, quaint, friendly ski resort. Our ski area started in 1963, so we are over 50 years old now. You can actually come up here and have a beer right here in the Star Bottle next to Creston Shaw, who I believe is 94 now, and he still comes up and skis, and he was one of our founding fathers up here. So a lot of local love up here. The services that Anthony Lakes offers are, we have a full service rental and repair shop, so you can rent skis, snowboards. We also have a full ski school, so there's beginner packages, there's intermediate packages, and then we have a cafeteria, you get breakfast and lunch. We've got a great little bar, the Star Bottle Saloon.
Every day, I know people are coming up here with smiles on their face. All I gotta do is keep that smile on their face. Pretty easy to do, and the snow's fantastic.
The sense of community is really special, and it's something I'm very passionate about, and it never feels like I'm at work. Our community is one that we all look out for each other. I mean, most people know each other up here. People that travel from other areas feel at home here. They come up and they sit here in the Star Bottle and feel like they're a part of this community because everyone's so friendly, everyone is excited about being here. I love this time of year when the mountain opens again, and it's like you could see your winter family again.
Come enjoy the snow, have a beer, have a great time.
Anthony Lakes opens up this Saturday for pass holders only at 9 a.m. Then next weekend, it will open up for the rest of us non-pass holding folk. Season passes can be purchased at the resort or online at their website. So, border skis, bunny hill, or doing backflips over trees, head up to Anthony Lakes this weekend to enjoy all your snow sports right here in Eastern Oregon. So, here's a story for you. Last December, Cindy and Jeff Martin are standing on the side of the road near Ladd Canyon doing a good deed, helping a trucker put on their chains, when suddenly another massive truck slams into their car. The car slides quickly and hits Cindy straight on. Jeff has to jump out of the way to avoid injury. Cindy is severely injured. And this isn't the only time this kind of thing has happened. This is just the story that the Observer used this week in their story on their front page to highlight the dangers that truckers are facing during the season of putting on their chains on the highway. And we thought it was a good enough message to repeat it. So here's a fact for you. It's illegal not to pull over to the left lane if a police or tow truck is parked and working on the side of the road. Here's another fact. It's not illegal to not pull over to the left when a truck is pulled over. But you know what it is? Common courtesy. Especially, also according to the Observer, when snow is built up on the road margins, forcing the truckers further out into the highway when changing their chains. So, here's the Grande Alive's weekly PSA. If you pass a trucker chaining up, slow down, merge left, and you'll be doing right. For the full story, see the Wednesday Observer paper. And here's our titular trio, Jeannie, Josh, and Bridger, bringing you this week's grand film review trailer on Moana, Disney's most recent princess movie.
I'm Josh Byers.
And I'm Jeannie Nickel.
And we're here to bring you this week's Grand Film Reviews.
This week's movie, Moana, will be available to see at the Grande this week and next.
Moana is the 56th film by Walt Disney Animation Studios.
It's a sweeping CG animated adventure following the titular character, Moana, the young future chief of a Polynesian island tribe, as she sails out on a daring mission to put a stop to the blight that is befalling her island's fish and fruit harvests.
During her journey, Moana meets once mighty demigod Maui, voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and together they traverse the open ocean on an action-packed voyage, confronting enormous fiery creatures and their own personal struggles.
Let's jump in.
Moana! I got your back. It's Maui time!
This one had an awesome introduction with the different types of, people. The movie starts off with the kind of like an intro throughout the island that they're on, and a way that they tell stories and whatnot, and I really enjoyed that. You got to see a little bit of, they incorporated some of the music and the language. So
kind of going off that, a thing I did really like is that overall, as a story, it really felt like this is a mythic that is being told. Like it felt like an epic story that you would tell from generation to generation. It didn't just feel like, oh, this is a story about some stuff that happened.
Overall, Moana is a noteworthy addition to Walt Disney Animation Studios' long legacy of quality films.
The rest of this discussion is available to be viewed on thegrandealive.tv.
So what else is going on in the Valley? Well, Aubrey Slaughter will be singing Christmas songs with other EOU students for this year's annual Lynetta Paul and Friends concert this Saturday, 3 p.m. at the Grande Methodist Church. Some of the songs being sung, according to Go magazine, will be Rejoice and Sing and What Child Is This? And because it would be in bad taste for me to use Aubrey's last name in any sort of musical joke, I'm just going to end this story by saying the concert is free, but donations are accepted. But you know what joke isn't off limits? A Christmas Story is still playing at the Elgin Opera House, and Steve Hendricks, our sports director and an actor in the play, was very excited after seeing our video from last week's Newsish Roundup. Shows are 7:30 p.m. Friday and Saturday, and 2:30 p.m. on Saturday for the matinee. And don't worry, Steve's a good-natured guy. He probably will only get slightly angry at me for posting that clip. He might shoot me with the BB gun from the play or something, I don't know. But, speaking of performances, Becky's Studio of Dance is hosting their Spreading the Joy holiday recital December 12th, Monday. All proceeds from this dance recital will go to helping her dancers buy dancing equipment. The concert will include jazz, ballet, tumbling, and acrobatics. Event is 6:30 p.m. at the Grande High School, and its tickets are $10 for adults. And coming in first for this week's oddest event, the Eastern Oregon Celtic Society is hosting a Pipers Gathering at 1 p.m. on Saturday at the Old Meeting House in La Grande. No, this is not a Celtic pot circle, millennials. Pipers are a type of musicians that play instruments. A $2 donation is appreciated both for using the building and being awesome enough to host a pipe gathering. I may or may not have added that last bit myself. In sports, the La Grande boys and girls basketball teams had their first games this last week. The boys came home with an early Christmas present, but the girls went home with coal. The boys played Vail Saturday, winning 58-35, pulling ahead early in the game and never falling behind. The girls played Tuesday, and even though they came home with black on their hands, it wasn't because they were bad by any stretch of the mind. The game was close right up to the end, going back and forth, before a late fourth period loss of Lacey Miles to injury put them down and out by several points at the end of the game. Final score, 42-40. The girls' next game is against Vail January 3rd at home. The boys will travel to Baker City for their first game of 2017 on January 6th. Both games will be broadcast live on thegrandealive.tv. And here's our favorite EOU sporties, Evan and Chris, bringing you EO Sports with speed and smarts and class.
I'm Evan House.
And I'm Chris Duarte of VU Athletics.
This is Round the Mound in about 90 seconds.
EOU volleyball was in Sioux City, Iowa last week for the NAIA Nationals. The team won all 3 games in pool play to advance to the round of 16. The Mounties defeated number 12 Oklahoma City in straight sets, but ultimately lost in the quarterfinals to number 3 Hastings, also in 3 sets. The historic season finishes with a program best 32 wins, with seniors Mikhail Lindbergh, Rochelle Chamberlain, Cassie Tuma, and Sierra Linke playing their final games for the blue and gold.
The historic season for EU football came to an end on Saturday with a heartbreaking 45-41 loss in the FCS semifinals coming to the hands of number 2 Baker. The 2016 campaign was highlighted by a program record 10 wins, the team's first NAIA playoff appearance, and a shutout upset victory over defending national champion and then undefeated number 1 Marion in the FCS quarterfinals.
EOU women's basketball started off conference play this past weekend, defeating College of Idaho 72-64. Darren Gasson led the way, dropping 22 points as she paced 3 Mountaineers that scored in double figures. The team heads to Walla Walla this Saturday for its second conference game. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m.
In their first game of Cascade Conference play, the EU men's basketball team hosted number 8 College of Idaho on Saturday. Despite playing a top 10 team, the Mountaineers showed no fear, upsetting the Yotes 83-79 inside Quinn Coliseum. Brian McGriff scored 27 points while grabbing 13 rebounds en route to being named Red Lion CCC Player of the Week.
The EOU men's wrestling team took home 9th place in the Battle of the Rockies Open this past weekend. The Mounties had 3 placers. Matt Wynn took home 3rd at 133. Jared Nice finished 5th at 149. And Brendan Davison took home 4th at 165.
That's the latest news in EU athletics. Stay tuned next week as we take you around the mountain in about 90 seconds.
And that's your weekly Newsish Roundup, brought to you by Grande Hospital, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, and Direct Music Source. Please like and share this video and tune in for more local content. I'm Will Bowman.